Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining us here today. You guys hopefully came to get your news and your alpha and your data and your TA and everything that makes this show what it is. Because our goal, bring you knowledge. Knowledge is profit. So thanks for being here. If you guys are new here and this is not your first time, or it is your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live. If it's not your first time here and you guys are alumni coming back to join us, then go ahead and hit that like button and just let us know that you're still here supporting. First off, though, I want to give a shout out to the Investing Bros. Another show. If you guys don't watch them, you should. But Investing Bros today, their 1 year anniversary. I've been watching them from day one, and I'm very excited to see them celebrate this milestone. So shout out to the Investing Bros. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to see today. But first, let me bring on my co-host and then talk to see who we got here in the chat. So, OC, my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Piper? Not much. Just enjoying here the morning. Pretty busy morning, but nonetheless, very fun one morning. And I'm dying to see what we have on the news because it seems like it's going to be a very, very interesting month upcoming.
Yeah, and we also had some economic data that came out this morning. We had the core PCE that came out. We had some new job numbers that came out. So we're going to be taking a look at that stuff too. We are seeing a little bit of a pullback today in the markets. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to my people in the chat here, the alumni, Nancy Croy, Mr. J, Justin Eubanks, Eric Wallen, GS, my wonderful, wonderful mod with the blue wrench in here, always showing support. LFB Real and Ada Ace all in the house right now. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and get into this data and let's start talking about what's going on because I want to get into the charts much sooner today so we can get you guys some great TA. Let's go ahead and jump over into the news. Goes, guys, taking a look at the news here. We are looking at cryptocurrency total market cap here, the coin market cap website. You guys can see red all the way down for the past hour, red all the way down for the past 24 hours. Got green there. That's on USDC. Doesn't matter. Doesn't count. Well, it does. If we saw it red, we would be a little bit concerned. But yeah, Tron lost all of its gains pretty much. It was, from the last 24 hours. Polygon Matic down almost a full percent. We do have a little upside in the past hour on Polkadot, so we might want to check that out there. But for the most part, guys, everything's down today. So why is that? Well, it's probably going to be off of this data here, which should be good data, but we're seeing the Dixie move up off of this, which is pulling everything down right now. Core PCE came in this morning, guys, at 0.2%, 0.2%. Previously, it was up 0.3%. Consensus was that it would be up 0.2%, forecasted to be up a third of a percent, and it actually was neutral on the consensus at 0.2%. Interestingly enough, that is right at the target that they said it would be, and it's lower than last month's PCE. If you guys are wondering what is PCE, it's the cost, right? It's the prices in the US, which exclude food and energy. It increased by 0.2% from the previous month in October of 2023, in line with the market estimates. And it's easing down from the 0.3 that they saw in September, reported in October, right? This is all lagging, right? The annual rate, regarded as the Federal Reserve's preferred measure of inflation, eased to 3.5%. So things are easing. The annual PCE rate was 3% down from 3.4. This should have moved markets up. It is not doing that. We're actually seeing it do the opposite, and things are pulling back. Dixie getting very bullish today. Initial jobless claims. Maybe this has something to do with it. There was 211,000 jobless claims that were for the previous week. That was this is the number of people that have filed for unemployment. The consensus was that it was going to be 220,000. We came in under that, but the forecast was 213,000. We came in quite a bit over that. Why this might be, and this is, if I had to put my finger on something, yo, T-Shroom, what's up, bro? I just talked about you. Happy birthday to the Investing Bros, man. I was telling everyone I'm in here, shouting you guys out. Initial jobless claims coming in at 218,000 is a little bit problematic for last week because we're heading into the first week of December. We just had Black Friday. This is the time period that people are getting jobs that don't work any time the rest of the year. They literally only work the holiday season to make some extra money for the holidays. And we're seeing unemployment numbers coming up, not down, at a time that we should see more people getting jobs and seasonal work. So maybe that's the reason that it's doing that. So what is that blue thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue what you're talking about, Eric Wallen. Um, oh, you're talking about the wrench on T-Shroom. Got it. Okay. It's a wrench. All right, let's get in here and take a look here in the last 24 hours. Not a lot of liquidations, guys. In the past 24 hours, 34,000 traders were liquidated. It's only coming in at about 60.7 million. Only OC, about 60 million. Normally it's in the hundreds, guys. So largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was only $608,000. So only 608,000. And that was an ETH
Oh,
swap
very.
USDT. Yeah, it's hardly noticeable. Let's get into some articles, guys. Look in here. Empty accounts discovered as Celsius allows crypto withdrawals for eligible users. This was kind of interesting. Shout out to Crux of Crypto getting all my news articles together for me because he's always got my back. And I saw this one this morning because this one kind of personally affects me. I've actually had an email from Celsius. I got about, just so you guys are tracking, I pretty much got everything off of all accounts when all this happened with Voyager and Celsius and all that. I was dipping and dodging and diving and got in there, right? But I do have about $45 in Bitcoin on Celsius. So I have a little bit of my Bitcoin over there. When I got this email, I was like, oh, cool. Well, let me go see if I can go try to pull my 72 point whatever percent. In a recent announcement, bankrupt crypto lender Celsius has initiated additional withdrawals for certain eligible custody users. However, it's important to note that only specific custody assets are currently available. Uh, by the way, others are not. Bitcoin inaccessible. So I still wouldn't have been able to get it off. But on the 29th of November, two groups, namely Class 6A and Class 6B in the bankruptcy lawsuit, they are eligible for the withdrawals. Users in these groups have until February 28th. This is what they said in the email. Qualifying users can withdraw 72.5% of their crypto minus transaction fees, provided that they did not participate in a previous custody settlement. Here's what's interesting on the stone. Um, they urged everyone to withdraw this immediately, right? Get on there and get this out because we got to see where we're at with the money, right? Um, but uh, would Celsius users have experienced difficulties, according to the reports on X platform. The development comes as some 58,300 users hold approximately $210 million worth of assets. So, according to user responses to Celsius announcement, there have been reports of login failures. I had this issue. I went to go log in, did my 2FA, did all my normal stuff, and it said, oops, you've tried to log in too many times. I'm like, I tried to log in once, bro. So yeah, I'm not the only one having this issue. When I saw that everybody else was having this issue, I thought it was pretty interesting. Users claim to be experiencing errors even if they reinstalled the application. So they've also expressed concerns that their earn accounts. I think this one is far more important to know. Their earn accounts are showing zero balance, exasperating the issue faced by the former users. So while my frozen portfolio balance is visible, my custody balance shows zero. Um, that's what this person said here on X. So not good on that. However, what's the future of Celsius? Did you ever wonder that? What is the future of this company? Well, they're going to transition to a creditor-owned Bitcoin mining company, Eric Wallen, hint, hint. As reported by our sister website, Bitcoin Celsius recently obtained approval from the bankruptcy court for its proposal to transition into a creditor-owned Bitcoin mining company. The plan involves repaying customers through a combination of crypto assets and stock in the newly established Bitcoin mining firm, which will be publicly listed. So that's the important part. Publicly listed. So there you go. Distribution of assets expected to commence in early 2024. But right now, a lot of people not seeing their money. Maybe they rolled it over into building an IPO for their mining company. We'll see. Esports giant Team Liquid reveals a collab with NFT game Illuvium. Not going to get into this too much. However, it is a PvP uh, themed NFT game for Illuvium. And so ILV, you might want to go ahead and and prep that one up there also, OC, because we're going to go check out Illuvium here in a minute and see how
Absolutely.
that's looking. Okay. Binance to fully phase out BUSD. Hey, do you guys remember back in the day when there was this whole thing that said Binance was discontinuing USDC and not going to be doing swap pairs at all anymore unless you used BUSD, kind of forcing everyone to buy their native stable coin. Remember that? Like the fifth largest one in the world. Remember that, OC? I remember that. Peppers Farms
Yeah.
remembers that. Yeah, they fully are phasing out BUSD by the end of December. Binance is preparing its users for the end of BUSD and a transition to FDUSD. What is FDUSD, you ask? Well, let's jump in and find out. Announced on the 29th of November, as Janet Yellen would say, Binance on November 29th, that will end support for its associated Binance USD coin, stable coin starting in mid-December. That was so annoying, Rich kept saying that. But Binance indicated that all spot trading pairs involving BUSD will be delisted between December 11th to the 15th. It also said that spot trading orders and spot trading bot services will be closed or terminated on the relevant date. So, yeah, getting rid of that. What is FDUSD? It's First Digital USD. It's at a rate of 1-to-1 with the zero fees. I don't know. First Digital. I don't understand. Like, is this something that happened with the regulars coming in and watching? Did they go, "Hey, this is shady as hell"? Um, yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. So yeah, if you guys are still on Binance, I I don't know why you would be. I think about 6 months ago, Investing Bros and myself were all saying, you should run. Yo, cluck cluck. Crypto Pollo in the house. Cluck cluck, bro. How you doing, man? Let's get into this one. Breaking: FTX receives approval to start the sale of $744 million in grayscale assets. Does this mean that it's going down? Well, probably not, guys. This this FUD asset here with with headline here with the big exclamation point, like, oh my god, exclamation point, right? Calm down, chill. That's why we gotta take the time to read the stuff. Right? This is why you guys join us here. If you don't want to read, just come over here. I'll read for you. It's like a good morning story instead of a bedtime story. You grab your coffee and I read to you. Um, Good coffee, by the way. By the way, brought to you by Legendary Aviation Coffee. Link down below, 10% off. Not trying to make any money. I just love to see local coffee brewers do great. So I want you guys to use that link. According to the last minute development shared by Bloomberg, FTX received court approval to start the sale of grayscale assets worth $744 million. It includes a lot of things, and I'm just going to run through this quickly. BTC, ETH, XRP, Matic, all the big names, all the ones you guys love. John D, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? T-Shroom got a treadmill at home. Nice, yes. Although the news of the sale of the huge $597 million Bitcoin product initially reduced the Bitcoin price to 37,600. Bitcoin in general was not seriously affected by FTX's sell approval. I got news for you. BTC lately hasn't really been affected by much at all, even to include CZ and Binance Fund. It said, yeah, it's, I stumbled for a second and then just continues on. BTC's looking strong. According to the documents, though, FTX will sell the assets in question in a way that maximizes their value and does not cause price volatility in the market. So that is why you probably shouldn't worry too much. Yes, there's a sell coming. Most of this will be OTC, will not be affected by what you see on your price charts. And they're going to do it in a very strategic and timed way that it does not wreck. They don't want this to drop. They want to sell this at a higher price, not a lower price. So they're going to do it in a very delicate manner, guys. And lastly, can we talk about the man, the myth, the legend here that you guys have all seen? All Elon Musk all over X. If you guys have not seen the video, go watch it. I'm not going to play it on the show. However, go watch it. It's all over X. Just put in Elon Musk and you will see this video. Elon Musk to advertisers trying to blackmail X. Go F yourself. The billionaire X owner lashed out at advertisers, ditching the platform due to his controversial post. And he was on a live event. He was speaking in the 2023 Deal Book Summit in New York on November 29th. And it was live, hosted by the New York Times. Recently, Musk publicly endorsed the White House labeled anti-Semitic and racist hate on the platform, um, which is which he has since apologized for. The tweet has also been deleted. However, when the interviewer Andrew Ross Sorkin asked about advertisers leaving the platform, he said, "If someone's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go F yourself." And at that point, the Andrew was sitting there looking at him like, did he really just say that? And then he looked over at him and nodded his head with the grin and said, "Go F yourself," with strategic pausing. It said, "Is that clear? I hope it is." And then just to add a cherry on top, he knew that Bob Iger was out there, the CEO of Disney, in the audience. And so he said, "Hi, Bob," since he was there and he's one of the people that left X. So, yeah, shout out to Elon. Love this dude. Balls. That's all I'm going to say. And the story that we talked about in the headline today on the thumbnail, guys, BlackRock officials met with SEC officials again today for Bitcoin spot ETF. There's some new details on this that you guys may not be tracking. So let's talk about that for a second. According to the information shared by Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric, they went and met with the SEC's departments and presented a revised in-kind model design for the spot Bitcoin ETF. What is an in-kind model of an ETF? Well, OC, I'm glad you asked. The following people, including NASDAQ officials, were present at the meeting between BlackRock and the SEC. Bunch of people, bunch of overpaid people in BlackRock. Actually, they're probably getting underpaid in comparison to what the company actually makes, but whatever. The in-kind Bitcoin spot ETF, this is what it is. It can be described as a type of exchange traded fund, which is the ETF, that holds Bitcoin directly as an underlying asset. Um, when an investor purchases shares of Bitcoin of a Bitcoin ETF, the provider company, aka BlackRock, would purchase an equivalent amount of Bitcoin. They would buy Bitcoin, literally get on and buy Bitcoin, probably OTC, on the open market, and adds it to its holdings. Likewise, when they sell their shares, the ETF provider sells the equivalent amount of Bitcoin from their holdings. Um, on the other hand, a cash Bitcoin, which is what was originally on the thing, cash Bitcoin spot ETF does not directly own the underlying asset. They never have to actually buy or sell um, Bitcoin. What's up, Alex O Crypto, the Otter Gang in the house? Um, so Bitcoin in this case, instead, it's using financial instruments such as futures contracts to copy the price of Bitcoin. So they're never actually buying. So BlackRock, just to be clear, went back and did this one where they actually buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin instead of the cash Bitcoin. Well, which one do you think? Which one do you think the SEC prefers? One where they're actually buying and holding the asset, or one that speculates on futures prices? Uh, this may not shock you. BlackRock is trying to produce a more attractive product for their investors by turning to an in-kind method for its spot ETF, but this will likely be questioned by the SEC. The SEC seems inclined to approve a more cash-focused Bitcoin spot ETF. So there you go. The SEC does not like it when you actually buy and hold the actual asset and say, "Look, here's my reserves. Everything is legit." No, they want you to be pushing products based on full speculation. So this is not investment advice, just like everything on Piper Academy, guys. And then here you go. Let's wrap it up with this ETF news here. Bloomberg analyst reaffirms 90% chance of a Bitcoin ETF approval in January. They have doubled down on it. People asking me if we changed odds. Nope, we're still holding the line at 90% odds of approval by January 10th, aka this cycle. The same odds we've had for months before it was cool and safe. What we're watching for now are more amended and final filings to roll in and clarity on in-kind versus cash creates. So I wanted to talk about this, and in order to talk about this, I had to talk about this with the SEC meeting. So, all right, OC, let's come up here. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Did you enjoy the whole
Doing
rattle on there
fantastic.
that I did there? Cluck, cluck, cluck. All right, so check it. Here's my question for the audience, for the alumni. Here's my question for the class today and for my co-host. Do we see a delay because they changed this to an in-kind instead of a cash version, meaning they buy spot now, right? So does that cause a delay is the first question. The second question, does the SEC even attempt to act like they're interested in approving this now that it's going to actually be a major institution buying Bitcoin straight out. Go.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. Yes. I've stated before, and again, let me just bring up that this is only my opinion and not a financial advice at all. And again, my opinion only. But what I do believe is that they're actually everybody's just interested in the money that there is to be moved between when the Bitcoin ETF is launched or it's being talked to and then approved. So I do believe that this is a strategy to start pushing and delaying the Bitcoin ETF being approved. So I do strongly believe that that's what's happening with the SEC. And I mean, it's no surprise that they rather like something more speculative because it's more volatile. But on the other hand, I do believe also that an spot ETF will be approved because we have a giant pushing, after it, right? So I believe that SEC is going to be bending their hands and getting approved a spot ETF.
Right, but is it in
And
kind or is
yep,
it cash?
what is it?
Is it the
Oh, it's good. No, no, no.
is it the in kind one that where they actually buy Bitcoin, or do they go, no, we would rather you guys do the one where it's based on futures pricing and speculation? Like there's a difference there. So yeah, I do agree a spot ETF, but which one do we see, in kind, or do we see the speculative one?
Oh, sorry, that was my bad. In kind. I'm talking about an in kind. Because yeah, I do believe that we're gonna have an in kind at the end of it all. But I believe it's gonna be more like a theatrical thing that it will gonna happen within the SEC and BlackRock. It's gonna be, hey, you know what? We're not interested. We're not gonna be approving it. And then BlackRock is gonna go, no, yeah, you should this and that. A little bit of a fight back and forth to give it that like for a long time and like and make us kind of like a hold tight to our seats, and then do the FOMO kind of like a blow up. And also remember that there is always interest behind where that money is placed. So any investors that they have privileged information and also are part of the SEC, not part like legit part, but that they might be, I don't know,
Influential,
leveraging
influential
exactly,
of the
yes,
SEC.
inflation. Yes, they are getting all over the place, and they will be like preparing for whatever they can get money and put it in the right spot at the right time, and everything is gonna blow. But yeah, I believe it's gonna be an in kind. But
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think it will be in kind, but I don't know that we're going to see it by January 10th. I think that the SEC is going to come back and go, we need to review this since you made changes. I do think this might push a delay on it. That's just my opinion. We'll see. Guys, let me know in the chat what you guys think. Do we see this on January 10th? Just say, one for yes, we see it by January 10th, a two for no. Just let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'm curious to see what everyone else's opinion is. But yeah, it's an interesting take there, OC. I hope that you are right and I am wrong on this one. So, because I want to see this thing go. We've seen that even with fake news coming out of an approval of the ETF, money just rolled into Bitcoin. So let's go, man. Let's get it. It's time for some TA. It's TA time. It's time to take a sip, buy the dip, and find out where to do that at. Yeah, I agree. Cluck cluck, bro. That's right. All right. Let's go check out charts. You have we talked about ILV, and what was the other one we talked about?
ILV, what else? BDC, of course, and I also
No, no,
have here Rune.
there was one that we talked about at the beginning that was in an article. I said we would take a look at it today. Um I don't know. You got the Illuvium, so let's go with Illuvium on your screen, and then we'll jump over and I'll run through Bitcoin for some stuff.
Perfect. All right, guys. So we did have that a huge news from Illuvium. I mean, we have seen Illuvium kind of like backing up here a little bit. So let me start throwing a couple of lines. The first thing that I see is this trend line. So not bad at all. But I see a retracement line in here. So I'm gonna be doing my head and shoulders lines. So remember, those head and shoulder lines don't always give you head and shoulders, but I'm looking for a triangular pattern that might be giving me a some kind of base point to start looking at support and resistances. So we are breaking also below the zero line here on our oscillator. We are still bearish on the squeeze momentum, and we're almost there at the very bottom with that RSI prime. So what it's telling me, look at how that 55 EMA have been playing out as a big support. And also let me zoom in here to get maybe a little bit of a BPVR spike so we can take a look at. So we have one, and let me start marking them. So we have one here, we have another one in here. All right, and I do like this button here. Let's use it. Let's do another one in here, and of course, let's do this one in here. All right, so it seems like we have a couple of VPVR spikes there. We are right now between two of those, which are these ones. I really hope to have one more bounce to accommodate this bearishness, or basically going back up for me to be able to start placing myself and having a clearer view on where illuvium might be going from now on. Remember, we are very bullish at this point, and look at our my prime score. But also, I cannot, let me move this out of the way. Here we go. So my prime score is very high, but also my consolidation is very high, which means that I should be looking at the end of a consolidation phase. And we kind of like a R, because right here I can see that this is not moving out of this pocket that I can see here. That's why I'm looking for this last bounce to see where could we be heading to. So being below the zero line is not necessarily bad. And if we minimize this one and go for the squeeze momentum, remember that I'm looking for a darker red histogram bars, and I am having that so far. I'm
Nice.
also want to keep seeing, yes, that movement of sorry, ADX keep dropping, but there's an issue in here. The issue is that the barrier of the strength, it's almost at its maximum, if not much. I mean, almost at its maximum. Yes, I could keep going farther down, and that's what I'll be expecting. Let me just make this a little bit smaller here. So let me draw that line, and I have this other pocket of strengthness, to call it somehow. All right, here we go. And this is going to be the barrier that I'm going to be looking for, that prolongation of the strength, and then move up on that VPVR, sorry, on that histogram for a bounce on that bullish run. All right, so let me make this one a little bit smaller again. And now that we're understanding what's happening with the squeeze momentum, you can see that if I can make it right here with a couple of smaller candles, and look at this, the candle that we have right now, this is the high Kineshi candles. We're having one of those smaller candles just now. All right, and also I'm having kind of like this oscillator, this middle ribbon starting to flip. If I can consolidate and make sure that I see that flip of the ribbon, that next histogram smaller bar, and the next small one, I think we could be finding support where we are right now. If not, my next big support zone is going to be at the VPVR channel that I have here with that dynamic reactor, and then right after breaking the 100 EMA. So far, I'm bullish on Illuvium, especially because it's launching season, and also because we have seen partnerships announced, but I need to wait for my perfect point of entry for taking any action that right there. So Piper, what do you see? Maybe you are looking at something differently, or do you
Yep.
have some other perspective?
No, I think you're pretty good on the aluminum there. I would definitely watch for the support that it's getting on that moving average right now, that EMA. And with this news coming out with esports is a pretty big gaming. This is a gaming token, so I could see that this support level actually could be a good DCA point for Illuvium, not financial advice, but I do hold ILV for transparency purposes. So I might actually be looking at doing some DCA on some more Illuvium into my account today, just based on where it's at for support and based on the fundamental analysis. Because remember, guys, it's not just about the TA, it's also about the FA. You got to have fundamental analysis, holding hands with your technical analysis to find out when you should be moving in and out. And I think that we have fundamental analysis support along with technical analysis support. I think this might be a good spot to look at doing some DCA. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it over to mine. It was good TA, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for that. We're going to jump on and check out the Dixie real fast. Because, guys, we got something going on with the Dixie today. And I told you that economic news that came out this morning has pushed us into this world where the Dixie is pulling up and everything's kind of moving back, which is opposite of what we were expecting when you look at how the data came in. It came in pretty good today. Here's what we're seeing on the Dixie this morning. Looking at 4-hour candles, obviously, we had a big candle pump up, and then we had another one here, wick down for a little bit, but it is fighting to stay up. I think we're about to see another rejection down. Two reasons. One, well, when we touched this trend assistant lately, that's been our maxed out point, and then we drop. Also, we're hitting the zero line here on the Oscillator Pro. Thirdly, we're about to hit the 70% line on the RSI Prime, and you can see we hit it here, down it goes. We hit it here, down it goes. We hit it back here. Nope, sorry, here, down it goes. Anytime we've hit this 70% mark, we have tended to go down, especially if we were in line with resistance. When we're in line with resistance at the same time, it tends to go down. Guys, we're at resistance. We've got the upper trade band of the predictive ranges here. This is typically where we trade between this and this. So we have that for resistance. We have the trend assistant for resistance, and we're hitting that 70% mark. I think we're about to see more downside coming off of this right now. What I will point out, though, is we do have the 100-week moving average, which kind of seems to be in the ballpark of where we got our bounce off of this delta median also. So there is a support range down here. Let's go ahead and throw a T-box on here. Celebratory T-box for the investing bros over there, TA Tim and his famous T-boxes. Here we go. Let's go ahead and put this on here. And that is a support box that I'm watching. And then we're going to go ahead and throw another one on. And we're going to run that right through here, like so. And we're going to turn this one red. So that we have that. Nice. There we go. There's our resistance box and our support box right now in the Dixie. I'm going to be watching for it to pull down to the downside. Yes, FA and TA sitting in the tree. ALPHAING. There you go. Alphaine. So that's what I'm going to be watching on the Dixie, guys. This is going to be what's playing out against the markets today. Let's go take a look at gold. I do want to look at gold, and then I'm going to pull up Bitcoin, guys. Gold, we did have the run up here. I told you guys I was looking at 2023, and if we break that, watch for a rejection on the top of the platinum pocket. We were talking about this back here because we had a good retest of the golden pocket. And I said, I do see us making it up to the $2,023.73 here, but we do have the delta of the predictive ranges up there. Could be resistance, but if we break that, I would be looking at $2,050. Well, that's exactly where we had our rejection before we had downside. I do think we're going to be coming back down and bounce on the 786 for a retest because we did not get a retest here. Typically, when something busts through it that hard, it likes to come back for a retest and make sure it closes the door. It busted through the door, as Tim would say. It's going to come back and close that door, make sure it's locked. So I think that's where we're going to be heading to here and be watching for $2,023.73 for the bounce there on gold. Now let's get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, folks. If you had looked at this on a 5-minute because you were scalping, you would be thinking that the end of the world is nigh because we're dumping so hard here, right? Lower lows, getting this little flag down here, little bear pennant going. Guys, just zoom out. Zoom out. We're still good. Just breathe. Breathe, drink coffee, tune into a good show, spend some time with family, touch grass. That's what you got to do at these moments. We're still looking good, guys. We do have a pullback here on the 4 hour candle. We did get a double top rejection off of a liquidity zone here, but it was kind of a weak liquidity zone. We do have a we do have the upper resistance band of predictive ranges, which is now support. We've turned it into support below us. Still pointing up on the dynamic reactor, still pointing up on the trend assistant. Things are looking decent here. However, pause for effect. We did have a downtrend on the oscillator. We do have a hidden bearish divergence on the oscillator. We do have the momentum dot coming in, and we are pointing downward. We are getting those dropping candles. Yes, I do think we could be pulling back. However, if we come back down and we hit this trend assistant here, which is coming in at about 37,000, 36,925 in that ballpark, that is still going to be a higher low, guys. We're still okay. Let it come back down. Might be a good spot to look for if you're looking to get into something between that trend assistant and that dynamic reactor. That's going to be between 36,700 and 36,925 ish ballpark. Spitball. Looking at Bitcoin there. So we're still okay here. Let me throw on my fibs and see how the fibs are looking on this. Yeah, guys, we have the golden pocket sitting right above that stuff also at 37,100. That's going to be the 0.66 there. So top of the golden pocket, still looking okay there. Not overly concerned. Bitcoin is holding up well. Let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum's still holding that 50% line. I told you guys before, anything below the 50% on a fib, when it retests it and it gets rejected, that's bearish. But when we get above it and we're holding it as support, well, that's bullish in my opinion. So we got the dynamic reactor giving us 1, 2, 3 times that it's been a trampoline of bouncing. Super strong indicator right there from the Chart Prime Pro Suite. And then the 50%. So we're squeezing up there on it. I do think that this is good. But however, my former resistance line up here that I had up here for a while, the T box here at $2,125. And I went all the way back in history here to show you guys that was the previous high back here. That's why I drew that box and said this is probably going to be a resistance point where we bounced off of it twice. So let me pull that back in there. There we go. Twice now we've rejected off of that. So right now we've kind of got this wedge going. We're ascending here, flat top there. Guys, this is a bullish pattern. Typically breaks to the upside 70% of the time. So that's what I'm looking at there on Ethereum. I hope that helps you guys out on that. And let's go check out some ADA. Let's check out some Cardano for my ADA people out there. ADA's still fighting right now in its golden pocket, guys. We do have the 50-week exponential moving average coming down underneath us. We do have a nice strong trend line that we've double tested down here before, giving us this trend support, diagonal support. But we do have some weak liquidity and then some pretty decent moderate liquidity zones above us. That typically will happen to be a target for it to move to grab liquidity. So if you guys are wondering where could this be heading, I could see this heading back up, doing a run for the 786 on the platinum pocket here and hitting that liquidity zone for some more liquidity. What I want to see though, before I get truly bullish sentiment on what's going on with ADA right now, is I want to see this price get a bounce here off of the dynamic reactor. You can see a touch there, it bounced on it, touch there, it bounced on it. We're on it right now. I'd like to see this bounce come up and get a retest of the 0.66 at 38.3 cents. That is when I will decide that this is going to start moving to the upside. Watching for a pullback on the 786. I'd like to see it pull back at that point and bounce on the upper trade band, because this will be coming. This moves all the way as it moves, right? All the way across there. I'd like to see the bounce on that and then break into the platinum pocket. That is going to be what I have to see before I go ADA is on the right track, because as of right now, we did break ribbon twist, pushing to the downside, had the peak seeker, said, hey, we're heading down from here, right? And so now we're heading down below that zero line. And it does look like we could be heading down to the bottom of that cloud, which would give indication that we might be heading for the delta and this trend line down here. That being said, if you take a look here, 30% line, upside, 30% line on the RSI, upside, 30% line, upside. Guys, we're at the 30% line. So we got about a 50-50 here. It's really a split a token or a flip a token. I mean, see which way you think it's going to go. 50-50 split either way. But that's what I would like to see for it to be bullish is what I showed you guys with that golden pocket and that upper predictive range band. Um, we do have some bearish things on the oscillators and stuff, but overall, we're looking good. I do want to check one thing. Let's check and see what the money flow is looking like. We're going to look at that from two different perspectives here because we have two different money flow indexes in the prime oscillator. This is going to be the trend fusion oscillator here. Let me get rid of all this Mexican spaghetti here, courtesy of OC, my chef OC. Yeah, so looking here at the money flow, guys, money flow on version 2 is red and coming down. Money flow on version 1 does look like it's curving. So we do have money coming out. This could be flipping for that bearish scenario on ADA. I hope that helped you guys out. And then one last thing that I want to take a look at, guys. I'm sorry, Indie Rock Crypto. I apologize in advance. Let's take a look at Caspa. Uh, he's so tired of seeing Caspa TA, man. But everyone's doing it. Why? Because it's the hot token right now. So we got to keep an eye on it. Everyone's making money on it. It matters. Two things going on here. One, we're in this symmetric triangle, guys, trading sideways. We are breaking right now below that phase 6 golden pocket. We are breaking below that point of control. That dash red line back there, you see? That is the point of control. However, what I'm watching here, we have confluence of support, and it's from multiple things. One, this green line here. That green line, turn off the magnet, please. Thank you. That green line right there is a predictive range. It is the lower support band. I think that's going to be a strong one. That purple line right below it is the value area low of this entire piece here. And then that's also going to be in line with the trend line. If we hit this and we bounce to the and we get support there, that could be an excellent entry for a long. Not financial advice, something that I'm going to be watching for though. And then what I'll be watching is if we break this symmetric triangle, I would be watching for the dynamic reactor to come into play for support. And worst case scenario, I think phase 5 of the golden pocket here, which is where I told you guys to buy originally back in the day. I said if it drops down 20%, buy at this level, 11.2 cents. I think we could come back and test that again if we do not hold the value area low, that predictive range, and the bottom of that symmetric triangle. So that's what I'm going to be watching for. I think that is what I got there. OC, you got anything you want to show? I want to show
Yes.
futures. Pull up what you got. I'm going to show futures really fast just to show everybody what's going on the stock side because stock market, we are getting some upside movement on the ES1. This are the US 30. This is Dow Jones. We are looking like we're neutral right now on the S&P ES1 futures, and NASDAQ is dropping. So it's not just crypto, guys. Some things are looking a little bullish. Some things looking a little bearish. Some things looking like GFY. I'm Elon Musk. I don't know. We are seeing a pullback today on Elon Musk, Tesla here. We got a rejection right at the top of the 0.66, came down, and now we are dumping. Just so you're tracking, I had bought Tesla. I had Tesla stock. I it went down below my buy-in. I was like, this is looking pretty bad. So I threw in and doubled my holdings of Tesla, which lowered my dollar cost average of my shares. We went into profit on it yesterday. I sold off half in profit with my new lower entry, and now I'm sitting on dry powder for pullback. I figured that was going to happen. Took it in profit. Now I've got half of the money that I had sitting ready to go in and lower my entry again. Overall, very bullish on Tesla in the future. Just read an article recently where an analyst was saying that Tesla is poised to go to $400 a share. So yeah, I'm glad I'm sitting on some dry powder for that. OC, kicking it over to you. Give us some TA on the way out, and we've got about 15 minutes. I'd like about 2 minutes at the end to talk to the audience. And then, yeah, we'll get out of here and call it a day. I got to get prepped. I'm on Trade Wars today. So, Got to
Oh,
go get ready for that.
yeah, absolutely. You got that, brother. All right, guys. So let me show you what I'm looking here and how do I scavenge for some hunting. This is a crypto bubbles. I like to have it on daily or weekly. All right. So, but since I'm looking for right away movements, I'm gonna be looking at daily. So first of all, I want to look those big movements in here, especially when I see them popping. I always have this window open up to my left. When I see them popping very quick, then I use it as a counter indicator. So if I see red getting very big, then it's time for me to go and pop that bubble, and I'm gonna be longing or looking for a long in some of those big red bubbles. All right, and if I see a big green bubble, it's time for me to go and pop that green bubble. So let's take a look at first of all IN, what is it? INJ. All right. So let's take a look at INJ. So it is what? It is, what is it? What is it? It's green. So let's analyze that. First of all, and let me just clean this up. Let's go piece by piece. Let me turn on my market articles. So just for a good measure, and I see I'm bullish. I'm very bullish. I'm on my very high prime score. And also I have a consolidation of 5, which means I should be on consolidation. Let's take a look at also my oscillators. I see strength just breaking through that 50% zone, or that what is it? One line, and then that's basically grabbing strength on a bullish movement. All right. I also see that I'm bullish on the RS side, but look at that. Let me draw a couple of lines in here so I can see the maximum that is has been reached, and also since the minimum that it has been reached. So I still have that little space to keep moving up as I have here, and maybe as I have here, because I don't have the flip of the ribbon just yet. All right. So let me point you at something that I could be looking at here. All right. Let me now start showing you our previous analysis that I was talking about. Look at this previous line that we had drawn. We were looking for a bounce in here. Did we had it? Yes, we had it right there. It was a little bit overextended, so let's time to adjust that line, maybe like that, or with the candles. I'm gonna be doing it like this. And as you can see, I was looking for a change of a trend there. We sort of have it a little bit lower here, and finally we broke retest, and then now we're moving to the upside. All right, all right. Very important. Now we have a pattern in here. So let me clear this up. That pattern has been broken. Where is our smart target? It's all the way up there. I also have a resistance, daily resistance right here. All right. It seems like I might be looking for that retrace. I still have fuel. I still have fuel, and I still have fuel, which is leading me to believe. First of all, take a look at where do I have other indicators in here. Well, it's telling me that I have a premium zone, a purple line, smart target, and then I have my resistance in here. So now when I start turning things off, I can very clearly see where could my entry point will be. Remember, I'm bullish, but since it's moving up and it already has left me because I did not enter right away when I see that flipping, and that breakthrough, well, then the next point is to catch the other movement again. Going against the trend is not advisable. It's a high risk entry because we are very bullish. Just be careful if you want to try to catch those retracements. They could be very profitable and add to your gains, but you need to be an experienced trader, or at least if you start feeling that you are having that skill or develop a skill, go in with either no leverage, doing on paper trading, or to understand the risk that you're taking. All right. So far, I'm looking at this zone to start bouncing down. Maybe for it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. And then if I start seeing that other flipping here, that is my signal to break back above. Because look at that, since we have been ranging, because right here we were above the zero line, and what happened to the price? Look at that beautiful movement. Then equal parts being above and below, well, we range, and now we are back above with a little spike in here, which is telling me that this zone could be holding up above, therefore having a next bullish movement. All right, so that's for INJ. Let's take a look at run daily, guys. Remember this analysis, it was on daily. We're almost there on that premium zone, all right? Look at that, I'm pointing, or I was pointing at divergences in here, all right? And that movement that I was looking at. All right, so for me, it's time to fine tune my entry. Not quite there yet, not quite there yet, but we're getting there, all right? What it's looking like is that I'm bouncing up. And again, look at that above that zero line, doing that double mountain here, like I could be seeing, let's see, something here, right? Which indicates me that that could be a continuation of that bullish momentum, and also see that the same movement on the prime area side moving up here. So I still had a little bit more to go up. As you can see, our entry spot is still up there, not financial advice. Let's fine tune it in the 4 hour, and I will need to leave my spaghetti there because this is my daily entry. I don't want to lose it. All right. So right here, down here, I can start cleaning some stuff and then seeing that yes, I am above the zero line. I'm going for that movement to the upside, but I'm also, look at that, almost at the top, almost at the top, and I'm almost flipping here. So again, this is my entry zone as I see either break through the zero line or flip up the rebound for a double top on rune. So guys, we are having a rune there. So I mean, a very positive signal there. Let me add an alert where I believe my entry point would be starting to play out. So that's going to be for me to reanalyze my entry and consider if I should or should not be entering. And lately, TradingView has been, come on, killing me. It kind of like I get stuck everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna place it somewhere around here, and that will be what I'd reevaluate my entry and my analysis. Then theta, or let's take a look at what have happened with it. So theta, it seems like it's going up. All right, so what is it going on here? We are within the same range. Very careful again. Look at that. We're almost at the top of that range. I mean, here we've been below and we did not lose the price line in here, which means that is a strength signal. All right, we are in a squeeze momentum going up, and we are right here on the ADX about to cross that signal line. If we cross it to the upside, we could be having a ton of momentum. So far, I see a retraction here with that absorption zone, but I am not that comfortable with that because look at that absorption zone. Look at that absorption zone. I could be having a very bad day if I try to short that right away. So what I'm looking again, it's flip of the ribbon. All right. Again, maybe a histogram change. And then also either for a histogram change, it's still on the green, lowering the strength. All right, on my ADX. Also looking for tiny candles up here for it to start a reversal. Let me add in here my regression trend. Let's get started from here because I see a little reaction here. And then also I see that we have beautiful support at this point, and I am at the top of this one. So I'm looking for a long only if I break through, retest at the VPVR value there, value area high, and then moving up upwards with a flip of the ribbon to the upside. But most likely, I am looking for a rejection again somewhere around this zone for a continuation of my of another more closely tied um, channel there. So do I have, let's see, support and resistance? Yes. Look at where is my next resistance, all the way there. Remember that, as I said, I'm not that comfortable with that little wick so far, and I'm looking for that continuation of the trend if I break through, retest, and off we go. Or then a short if I am seeing flip of the ribbon and complete rejection with a confirmation. Again, not financial advice, guys. I'll be quick to change my mind if as I have new information. EGLD. Let's wrap it up with this one, and and basically we have broken the this area. It actually happened very closely as we were predicting. Timing was a little bit off, but that's fine. Broke through, went up. So basically, beautiful movement there as we were expecting. We need to see what's happened with that
with that squeeze momentum. But so far, it's not looking good in the oscillator in here. So I'm looking for more downside on EGLT. So I think that's all that I have. Basically, just going through a couple of assets to give the heads up there. And yeah, we still have some 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
So
I was
right.
going to. Well, I got some family that's getting ready to that we're visiting, so they're getting ready to head out. So I'm going to be seeing them off in a second. But I do want to leave you guys with one little trade set up that I just saw on the charts. So hot off the charts here, guys. Look at that polka dot here. You can see that we were in this triangle here trading. Good support touches on the top, or resistance touches, good support touches on the bottom. We have just broken it, and it looks like it's moving right now, headed towards that delta line. I am shooting for a target on this at $5.72.8. If it continues this, we do see the money flow version one is starting to curve up. Money flow two is starting to curve up, and we're coming down here off of the range of about 38 on the RSI primed, getting a good candle there. I would be watching if this does not get rejected here and fall back down. I would watch for this test of either the delta median or the trend assistant, retest of this triangle, or of this dynamic reactor, because you can see it's played great support here on this time period. If get that retest, this would be the target that I'd be shooting for on Polkadot. So there's something that I just saw in the charts last minute. I wanted to get that out there. Polkadot looking pretty decent right now. Guys, thanks for joining us today. If you guys want any of the some discounts on the stuff that we talked about today that we used in our indicators, the Chart Prime Pro Suite, we have a link down below. 45% off your first monthly or quarterly subscription. Not only does it come with all these great indicators, it also comes with OC Guy and I doing live streams just like this in the Discord 6 days a week. There's live training, there's classes, all that type of stuff. So you get access to all that. You also get access to an amazing support team and trade signals for crypto, which most of our traders over there are hitting like 100 to 600% returns on their trade signals. So if you guys want that, check it out below. The link's down there. Also, if you guys want some great coffee, slow air roasted, not burnt, not scorched, no bitterness, great coffee. Check out Legendary Aviation Coffee. Shout out to Josh up there in the Dallas area making best coffee I've had in forever, man. So check it out, 10% off using that link below. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate the alumni who come here and join us every day. You don't have to. You could have gone anywhere else. You could have watched any other show, but you guys chose to come and sit here with OC and I, and that is humbling that you guys gave us your time. Help us out. Do us a favor. Share this with a friend. If you think that they need to get this news and this information and this TA and understanding of how to look at the markets and tell them, knowledge is profit, then go ahead and share this with a friend. We appreciate you guys joining us here today on Piper Academy. OC, always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. We will be back here tomorrow. I will be today at 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Crypto Wars, doing trade wars over there with Crypto Keeper and them. So come support. I'm going to be the only person from Team Crusader on the show today because it's Keeper's Day, but I was traveling on Monday for Crusaders Team Day. So I'm going to be soloing it over there by myself against all of them. So I would love to have your guys' support. But hey, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on Piper Academy, where knowledge is profit. You guys trade safe, stay primed, and as always, use a stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!